What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that all of you guys are enjoying this beautiful, gorgeous Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Since we are talking about families, I wanted to bring up Gary Owen because he shared that he has not seen his kids in 3.5 years since their divorce from their mother. And again, this is an issue with, youthful indiscretions. Men, they get popular, they start getting all this attention from outside women, and excuse me, he essentially cheated. Now his kids don't seem to be as forgiving and willing to move on, like Shaq's kids. But I'm going to let you guys hear just a snippet from his interview with Shannon Sharpe, and then I'll give my commentary at the end.
Deadbeat. What's your relationship with your kids right now?
I don't have one. It's been 3.5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
How hard is that for you?
What do you think? It's a nightmare. It's like they're my greatest accomplishments and my greatest failure at the same time. But to see how it's just crashed and burned since the divorce, and this is all since the divorce.
Do you believe she played a role in the divide with your kids?
I'll say I'll take the blame because I didn't ensure that my relationship with them was so strong that no matter what anybody said to them, they could be like, nah, my dad's good. So, I was gone a lot.
Right.
I'm on the road.
Right.
And that's part of the deal. But I really don't know. I don't want to throw stones and stuff I don't know. I don't know if she's at the house saying your dad ain't, I don't know. I mean, I do know blasting me on social media didn't help. Mm-hmm. And then other shit happened we'll get into in a little bit. I just don't know where it got so bad. You know what I mean? That I'm just literally the worst human being on the planet. And it's funny, I ran into my ex last week. We was on a plane. We were on a plane from Atlanta to Cincinnati.
Come on, Gary.
I ain't got nowhere to lie now. I just said I cheated. That's been the freaking elephant in the room. So I got nothing to hide anymore. So I'm sitting there and I sit on a plane and I go, ain't no way this is happening. Ain't no way this is happening.
That's what I'm saying.
I went I was in the window like.
You like a kid. You like a kid looking out the window.
That's my bad. So she didn't see me when she got on the plane. We go to baggage claim. She sees me. She comes up. We start talking. Ask her how do we get this right with the kids? And then I keep telling her look, when they call, I'm there. I don't care if I got to show them, cancel it. The minute they say, Dad, I'm ready to talk, I'm out.
Right.
I'll go to where they're at. So when I talked to her about the kids, I told her, I said, I wish you would
help
just say it's time. It's time. Because they do listen to you.
Yes.
Enough.
Mm-hmm.
There's no abuse here. There's no mental abuse. There's no physical abuse. They had a great childhood.
Yes.
Great. Private school. Paid for my daughter's college. I mean, just stuff you're supposed to do if you have it as a dad.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm just I don't know how I became this evil human being that they want nothing to do with. I was I'm not perfect. I read somewhere that somebody said, when you go through the divorce, when kids are little, they idolize their dad. Mm-hmm. And then when divorce happens, they demonize them. And then as time goes by, they humanize them. Mm-hmm. Clearly, I'm in the demon stage right now. But it's just been so long that I got to sneak around to try to just lay eyes on them. Like when the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, right? Mm-hmm. I got tickets. So I texted both of them because when I call, they won't answer. So I got a text. And sometimes they respond, sometimes they don't. So I was like, I got tickets. I got 4. You guys want to go? And they was both like, no. So I was like, dang. And then
that's it. Just no, not love with Dad. I had other plans. I got other arrangements.
I ain't gonna say what they said, but it wasn't pretty. And then I said, I flew to Greensboro where my daughter was in school and knocked on her door and she wouldn't answer the door. And then my ex ended up calling and was like, my road manager was with me. She didn't know he was with me. She called my road manager and she was like, why is he at the door? Why is he at the door?
So she's looking at the door to see?
No, my daughter called.
That's what I'm saying.
So she's like, why is he at the door?
Yes.
And he's like, he's just trying to see her. She goes, no, it's not time. She's not ready. She said, write a letter and put it in the mail. I go, what?
People still write letters?
This ain't 1985.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that happened. Then I found out she was flying. I found out one of her flights one time. I ran into her at the airport, and I was like, I kept my distance. I didn't run up on her, and I waved, and she waved back. And I was like, oh, want to have a shot here? And then she dipped in the bathroom. And at 45 minutes, I waited, and she never came out. And I just went. So I left. And then when I went to her graduation, yeah, they made it very clear: don't come up, don't talk to her, don't approach her, or nothing like that. I was like, so I don't know how. At this point, I don't know how to reconcile the relationship. I'm just letting them know that I love them, I'm proud of them, and whenever they call, I don't care where I'm at, I'm there. I've told them, I said, you know, you want to go to Hawaii? You want to go to Dubai? Where do you want to go? Because we can go. We can go somewhere so far away and just sit down and have it out. So I literally don't know what to do at this point.
Okay, so you guys heard from Gary, you know, he doesn't know what to do. My thoughts are, one, I don't know if that letter suggestion came from his ex-wife or his daughter, but if the daughter requested for her father to mail her a letter, I don't understand why that would be such a big deal. Like, I feel like, you know, Gary reminds me of a lot of people in his generation, and I'm not trying to make it like a generational thing, or even just, you know, certain type of men, especially if they're successful. They always want to do things on their terms. And I feel like him, you know, popping up or, you know, wanting to do certain events, he's not listening to what his children have asked him to do, right? If it was somebody who, you know, asked me if I did something that broke their heart and said, hey, can you write me a letter and put it in the mail? I would write them a letter and put it in the mail, right? I would also invite them to, you know, maybe sit down with a really good marriage and family therapist, not to try to repair the marriage with his ex-wife, but a family therapist so that the children can be heard. Because I feel like him wanting to take them, you know, jet setting around the world, that's just going to put a band-aid on it, and they don't even want to go, which further lets me know that they are really hurt, right? So he really needs to do some work, in my opinion, to, you know, heal that wound, not just pop up when they're not ready to see him, not just, you know, offer to do what he wants to do. I feel like that's so indicative of someone who is, and I don't think that he's narcissistic, but maybe just really self-centered, like he's used to having his way all the time. And it's unfortunate because until you can realize, you know, the relationships are truly transactional, especially when you're in the wrong, like especially when, you know, you've cheated on their mother. And even listen to him talking to Shannon, right? He's like, you know, they had a great childhood. Not if you were cheating on their mother, you know, not if you essentially broke their hearts and broke up a happy home. Like, Gary, just because you pay for stuff, and I feel like he's still trying to buy their love, right? Offering them to go to trips or offering them to go to the Super Bowl. He's saying, you know, oh, I paid for college. You're supposed to do that as a father, right? Which he does. He does, to his credit. He says, you know, that I did what dads are supposed to do if they got it. But I feel like he is missing that essential piece of, you know, and perhaps even his children could say that that was emotionally abusive. I don't know. It depends on how they, you know, what exactly happened and, you know, the lens that they view things through. But just listening to him, he's absolutely right. He doesn't get it. I would encourage him to even go to therapy by himself and work on him, because he doesn't seem receptive to even a small suggestion as writing a letter, right? He's like, well, this ain't 1985. And then Shannon, of course, he co-signs like, well, who still does that? People who want a relationship, people who want, you know, that connection with their children, people who have broken someone's heart, someone's trust. sitting down and writing a 5-minute letter, putting a stamp on an envelope does not take too much time and effort, but it shows that person that you listen to their request. It shows them that you care about what they've asked you to do. He wants to take these kids to Dubai and Hawaii in the Super Bowl. They ask him for a letter and he can't give them that. That tells me so much about him and his character and about the type of home and type of father that he was, right? Not saying that he was abusive, not saying that he was, negligent. What I am saying is, if you truly want a relationship with anybody, not just children, right? Because I think these kids are grown now. He said that they're in college, so they're grown now. Just if they ask you to do something small, do it. I don't understand why that would be such a big deal. But if you have that ego and that pride, then for him that's just, like that's I don't know if it's beneath him or what, but Hawaii and Dubai aren't going to fix it. Anyway, you guys, I thought that was really, interesting. That he wants that relationship on his terms, and I'm kind of proud of his kids, that they're standing strong. Hopefully they can all sit down with a good therapist and come to some kind of resolution. And I'm hoping that Gary, can be less prideful and listen to what his kids ask him to do. But you guys, let me know your thoughts about what he said. I'll always want to hear from you guys. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.